So this is the new Oneplus Pad, which I have been testing alongside my iPad for a month now. Everyone has been quite critical about the Oneplus Pad because it's not as good as the iPad, it's not an iPad killer, but for me, I think the Oneplus Pad is an impressive tablet for its price, and it is off to a fantastic start in the tablet industry. But there are still a few aspects where OnePlus should keep on improving to make the tablet industry excited and competitive. So let me discuss everything about the OnePlus Pad in my long-term review, but before that, got to pay our office bills with this short message from our sponsor, UPDF. So if you're someone like me who works with a lot of PDF files, then you're going to love UPDF. From reading and organizing to editing PDFs, it can do it all. UPDF also lets you annotate your document in all sorts of ways, including adding stickers and even your own signature. For added flexibility, it can convert your PDFs into different document and image files as well, or create an editable PDF from a scanned document. UPDF is also incredibly well designed across all platforms, be it Windows, macOS, or Android. And those who sign up for UPDF's perpetual plan will also get 1 year's cloud service with 10 GB storage for free. To learn more, check out the link in the description below. Okay, the first thing that I like about the OnePlus Pad is its design itself. Here I am absolutely digging these lovely curved edges, and mix that with these soft chamfered edges and a thin design. This thing has one of the most comfortable grips I've ever seen on a tablet. The aluminium unibody construction further drives the point home in terms of the stellar build quality of the OnePlus Pad. However, all that premium build material plus a big battery inside ultimately adds to the weight of the device as it scales to well over 550 grams, making it one of the heaviest 11 inches tablets out there. So having to hold the tablet in one hand would quickly turn into an endurance exercise all the time. I would also have liked if OnePlus could have added a few more color options here. I wish the OnePlus Pad was also available in some lighter finishes. Likewise, the display here is also quite great. Right off the bat, you should know that you're not looking at an OLED screen here, but this 11.6 inches LCD panel is actually pretty fantastic. The contents here look sharp, it gets plenty bright, has a decent viewing angle, and its 144Hz refresh rate means everything feels fairly smooth to get around as well. To make sure you don't miss the rich colors of an OLED display, OnePlus also ships it with the Vivid Picture mode by default, which is a bit too punchy and saturated for my eyes, to be fair. The white balance also looks a little off on this profile, but thankfully you can turn it all around by switching to the Pro mode and dialing down the color temperature. OnePlus Pad's unique 7:5 aspect ratio deserves some special attention too. OnePlus has specifically designed this tablet with readers in mind, and yeah, this squarish design does make reading PDFs, ebooks, or the latest One Piece chapter feel more natural. But this 7:5 display also means you're going to be blasted with black bars at the top and bottom of the screen whenever streaming videos from anywhere. This honestly did not bother me that much, but there are some issues with this display. For instance, it has the slow response rate, which means you will notice some coasting effect when scrolling, which could be somewhat irritating. Likewise, the way OnePlus Pad handles its 144Hz refresh rate is also a little annoying. Out of all the apps that I've tried, only Chrome and Antutu actually hit 144Hz, whereas the rest of them run at either 60, 90 or 120Hz, and there is no way to switch on 144Hz or even 120Hz at all times as well. So I do hope OnePlus could push a software update to enable the option to let users set custom refresh rates for different apps. The OnePlus Pad cannot stream HDR videos too, even though it is Dolby Vision ready and has Wide 1 L1 certification. So another thing they could improve with a software update. The speakers on this thing are pretty great though, much better than most tablets I've used in recent times. You get 4 speakers in total, 2 on each side, and they get plenty loud while maintaining decent clarity even at max volumes. As expected, there's not much to look forward on the bass department, and I wish it handled high notes with a bit more finesse too. But overall, the OnePlus Pad is great for listening to music or watching movies or shows. There's also something called Omni-Bearing Sound Field technology. So what it does is basically adjust the left and right audio channels based on how you're holding the tablet for a more immersive audio experience. Okay, let's talk about the performance now. Here, OnePlus has gone with the Dimensity 9000, which is a year-old flagship MediaTek chip that is on par with Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. As expected from a flagship processor, there's essentially zero performance hiccup here. Apps load quickly, there is no aggressive memory management in the background, and multitasking also feels quite fluid. There's some occasional stutter when loading the recent apps menu, but other than that, it's pretty smooth sailing. However, like most other Android tablets, the OnePlus Pad is also a victim of the lack of app optimization. The weirdest and the most frustrating example I've found has to do with the keyboard. It ships with Google's Gboard by default, which does not have the split keyboard for some reason. What's even weirder is that the thumb node on the Microsoft SwiftKey keyboard is also grayed out on the OnePlus Pad, while it works perfectly fine on my other devices. So the typing experience on the OnePlus tablet has been kind of bizarre, especially in the landscape mode where the keys are too far out. Moreover, a bunch of high-profile apps like Facebook and Instagram are not optimized for landscape mode either. OnePlus has built an option to force enable full screen for such apps, but it simply does not work. I also think the Oxygen OS 13 needs to be a lot more tablet focused. From the style of the notification shade to the system animation, the OnePlus Pad feels somewhat inconsistent. The upcoming Android 14 supposedly makes app scaling in portrait and landscape mode a lot simpler, so I am really excited about that. For the extra bursts of productivity, OnePlus sells a stylus and a keyboard accessory for this tablet too. I did not buy the keyboard but got the stylus, which is pretty great. It's similar to the second gen Apple Pencil with a flat edge on the side and its double tap shortcuts. Its touch input delay is still somewhat noticeable, but it wasn't a big deal for an amateur artist like me. It has a comfortable grip and is tilt and pressure sensitive, and the palm rejection on this thing is also quite nice. So I had absolutely no problem taking notes or drawing something on the OnePlus Pad's laminated display. The new Oxygen OS 13.1 update also brings new features like cellular data sharing via a OnePlus phone, whereas multi-screen connect promises screen mirroring and content sync just like handoff on an iPad and other Apple devices. Anyway, the OnePlus Pad is a great gaming machine too, and even after back-to-back gaming sessions, I never felt the area where my hands would naturally rest on this tablet get warm or anything like that. The Dimensity 9000 cannot deliver a steady 60 FPS on demanding games like Genshin Impact at the highest settings, but it gets pretty close. Still, high FPS ready titles like Injustice 2 and Mech Arena are locked at just 30 and 60 FPS on the OnePlus Pad, so I'd like to get that fixed pretty soon. Camera-wise, the OnePlus Pad brings a 13-megapixel sensor at the back and a horizontally laid 8-megapixel camera at the front. Their image quality is perfectly fine for quick snaps when you don't have your phone with you, but don't expect anything more. I do love its limelight feature though, which follows you around to keep you in the center of the frame whenever you're on video calls, like center stage on iPads. It currently only works in dedicated video conferencing apps like Zoom and Google Meet only, but maybe OnePlus could enable it on other apps like Messenger as well. As for the battery life, its backup is quite impressive. I was consistently getting 7 to 7.5 hours of screen on time under usage pattern consisting of a little bit of everything. The overnight battery drain is also pretty minimal here, while the included 67-watt charger takes the OnePlus Pad from 0 to 100% in like an hour and 20 minutes. So everyone, that was all for my month-long experience with the first tablet from OnePlus. Like I said earlier, the OnePlus Pad is a great device with an excellent design, a good display, solid speakers, powerful performance, and a terrific battery life. So if all of what I just said checks off your list, then this could be definitely worth it to you. But the sad reality right now is that it is still nowhere near the iPad in terms of software fidelity. I actually don't think any Android tablet is at this point, to be honest. Not just from a performance standpoint, but all the Apple benefits you get from an iPad are simply unmatched. And the even bitter truth is that it's not just up to Google or tablet makers to fix this mess, but developers also have to come on board to optimize their apps for large screen Android tablets as well. So until that happens, the OnePlus Pad remains a great tablet for media consumption, web browsing, and for video calls and stuff, but not a productivity machine or a laptop replacement of any sort. And one more thing, I just started testing the new Xiaomi Pad 6, which basically nails all the fundamentals like the OnePlus Pad, but comes with a much cheaper price tag. It does compromise a little bit in terms of build quality, processing power, and a few other things, but overall you're getting more value with the Xiaomi Pad. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a little information, this review unit was provided to us by OnePlus and will be returned after 45 days, and no editorial input from the brand or our affiliate partners Amazon and Hookut Store are included in this review. It was all Gadget Byte members only. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.